In Nepal, it's CARE Nepal who led the super research, and me being part of it, I led the research. We have 5 researchers there, and we basically selected 4 strong grassroots struggles who have been part of lots of socio-political changes and strengthening movement in Nepal, like JMMS, GRF, the Girls' Rights Forum, National Alliance of Women Human Rights Defenders, and Nepal Mahila Ekta Samaj, and JMMS is Jagriti Mahila Mahasangh. So all these unique movement actors and the network, they are working on the issues of sexual violence, to child marriage, to the all the squatter women who are evicted and battered or are in a difficult situation because of all these evictions by the government itself. So there are policy-related engagements, there are community-related engagements, there are engagements within the movement, and that's what I was looking into and working on along with other researchers in Nepal. So we did this exhibition not just in Pakistan, but also in Nepal, India, and Bangladesh, where all these 16 different struggles from 4 different countries, along with the IDS who was helping us leading this research, came together. One, it definitely speaks of the solidarity that we are growing. Second, there are so much of findings and knowledge within the movement, and it is very important that we break the borders and then these knowledge and information going across the borders, and we knowing about each other's status and what we are experiencing as a movement, and how those kind of information can help us to bring, come together to collaborate more and to strengthen the movement. That's very important, and this exhibition definitely is helping us to actually share these findings of research wide and beyond, not confining to the academia or somebody who did research alone, but to the public, out and loud. But along with that, what I would also say is many times these stories, experiences are mostly shared by the researchers, putting it within the academic framework as they research. What doesn't mostly happen is the people who holds these experiences and stories, they themselves telling those stories is very important, and which doesn't happen. And in this exhibition, what we have ensured is the stories, the pictures, of those movements themselves, how they experienced it, how they felt it, the backlash, the successes, the strategies, all those things in a form of picture, in a form of quotes, in a form of stories, in a form of audiovisual, it's coming out. So that's the beautiful part of it, and then the general public and audience being able to see that, experience it, witness it, it itself is a amazing way to share or disseminate the research findings. What I like about super research is it's not a research that is extractive, but is very much based on traveler's approach, meaning the methodology, the methodological rigors that we had within the research itself ensured that it is not accumulated, all this information and knowledge is accumulated or extracted from the movement into these journals and papers alone, but it is crafted together with them. And it is important that the community themselves or the movement themselves, as it is their story, their knowledge, their experience, owns it and shares it in their own voice, ways and pattern, rather than these jargons and crafty, difficult terminologies which hardly anyone understands. And if people are to understand movement and their ordeals, it's very important that it's said in a form that everybody understands and connects and relates to, so that it further can help in bringing people together, be empathetic towards these knowledge and these experiences. So the beauty of Super and having this community, but also the movement, they gaining this knowledge, having that awareness and realization about where exactly they stand, relate to it, understand the shortcomings within the movement, but also the shortcomings and the backlashes coming from outside, and package it in their own ways, with their own ownership and understanding, and then taking it wide and beyond. I think like that's a new way of disseminating the research work that we do, and it's a bigger and the excellent form of owning, the whole process, and that's I think is the feminist way, and that should be the way of all these academic researches that academicians do. And I'm happy that actually the community and the social movement, they were equally part of it. We co-created it, from analysis to information to crafting it in a right way, the messages, the stories, data, and also understand how it is not just in one country, but in all these 4 different countries. Though we come from different countries, but our social craft, our structural positioning is so similar, and that realization itself can also help them to come together to further their solidarity and be there for each other in collaboration. So that's the beauty of and the strength of super research.